Hello, good afternoon, halftime TV viewers and subscribers. I hope and trust everyone is enjoying their Friday afternoon. It's your boy Norando, and we are here. Another episode. This one will be a condensed version as we prepare to go live later on this evening. Now, we have some news, and I'll be sharing my opinion on this. I won't take too much of your time because I know everyone is busy, probably on your lunchtime, probably trying to enjoy some of the sunshine outside as well. So I'll go through it and I'll share my opinion, and then I'll invite you guys to share your views and your opinions as well. Because I think if it's headlines for the wrong reasons, we're happy to to bask in it and to circulate it all around. But if it's the other way around, seldom do we see folks circulating it. So again, big up everyone that's tuning into the channel as per usual, to our 9,300 subscribers. Thank you guys so very much as well. Shout out to my sponsors, Quickling Shipping, RS Sports Store, and CSA Shop. Now, it's not often that I do the shorter videos. It's been a minute since we did anything around 10-15 minutes thereabout. But as I said, we have to take the opportunity to to speak on this one because, put it this way, I felt compelled to say something about it because I think there are so many other things happening, especially in the World Championship, that this almost went unnoticed. And I know a number of vloggers and YouTubers, they've already published videos on it, whether it's short videos, whether it's long videos, whether it's clippings, whatever the case may be. But I wanted to share my full opinion of it because yeah, as I said, I felt compelled. Now, if you're new to the channel, remember, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel as well, as we try to bring you as much update. I missed it. What did he or she say? What was her response? All right, Douglas Anderson, welcome. Journey with Kelly, and welcome as well. I'll go into it. Don't worry. All right. So last night, Shericka Jackson ran 21.45 seconds. 21.45 seconds. Now, the world record set by Flojo so many years ago was 21.34 seconds. I posted something last night as well, asking the viewers what are their thoughts on the fact that Noah Lyle and Shericka Jackson, they're both 120 milliseconds and 110 milliseconds respectively away from the world record. Now, this morning when I woke up, I saw the clipping. Good evening, good afternoon, Empress. Good afternoon, Fran Neptune as well. No, I going through social media as per usual. So I think most folks who have YouTube channels, especially if it's relating to sports, the first thing you do when you get up is you check the social media, you check what's happening in news, that sort of thing, because you want to ensure that you're up to date. You want to ensure that you have all the information so you can update, whether it's your viewers, whether it's your subscribers, whatever the case may be. All right. So saw the interview. Well, as a matter of fact, a colleague of mine sent me the interview and asked what my opinions were. Didn't really go into details because obviously I'm getting ready for work. So kind of on the go, so not much time to form an opinion. But again, for those who aren't aware, I'll tell you what happened. I'll fill you in completely. Now, post race, a journalist, and it's reported that it's a European journalist, asked Shericka Jackson. Both records are in reach. More and more respect to the athletes. They have to keep it true. So a journalist, and it's reported that this was a European journalist. Some folks said it's an American journalist. I'm not sure. Because one thing, when it comes down to these situations, folks seldom remember who the journalist is, right? They remember that a question was asked, the athlete's response to the question, and especially if the athlete doesn't answer properly, and I put properly in air quote because properly in the eyes of the masses, then put it that way. All right. So if the athlete doesn't answer properly in the eyes of the masses, then it makes the rounds, it trends and all of that. No one remembers he's European, his accent is British. All right, thank you so very much, Duran. Thank you so very much. I didn't hear him properly. I was I actually saw the subtitles, put it that way, because I was on the go. But yeah, the journalist asked Shericka's thoughts on the world record. In essence, he's asking if she thinks the world record is legitimate, right? Shericka Jackson's response, what kind of question is that? Isn't that the world record? Why are you asking me? And this is me just giving you the essence of what transpired. Um, that is very rude of you. Why would you ask me that? All right, that's not me. And she left. Right now, I think Shericka Jackson did extremely well in conducting herself, especially with that question being thrown at her. First of all, I think journalists, they have a right, they have a responsibility. They're supposed to ask the questions. Fine, they're supposed to ask the questions. But she gave a good response, Jassy. I agree. I think her response was good. I think she conducted herself properly. I think even going as far as to what the eyes, the reporter was out of place. I agree. Fully out of place, fully out of order, fully rude. And Jamaicans would say, don't mix me up. All right? Don't mix me up. The record has been there for so long. The 100-meter record, I think on Google, it still has wind next to it. So there could be some argument with the 100 meters. But the 200 meters, we don't see anything. We don't see anything of the sort. There weren't any indications that Flojo was taking drugs or anything of that sort. So I don't understand. I don't understand why someone would have the audacity to spoil a moment, such a monumental moment. Yeah, so such a monumental occasion. Shericka Jackson coming down from the 400 meters to the 100 meters, doing the 200 meters as well, getting her first gold medal at any championship. And this is how you approach the situation. Talk about ruining the occasion, folks. Talk about ruining the occasion. And I think, as I mentioned earlier on in the show, people don't usually remember the journalists. You don't remember the journalists. Shot kick the face, you know. Yeah, we don't usually remember the journalists because now I'm pretty sure a number of folks in the comment section aren't even able to tell me what the name of the journalist is. You don't remember that sort of thing, right? It's the same thing we see time and time again. Like the person on the other side of the camera is usually the person who receives all the bashing or receives all the criticism, and this is primarily based on their response. This is primarily based on their response to the questions that are asked. And for those who don't know, I have media background. All right, so I am aware of how these things work. I am aware of the expectations, and I am aware that the journalists, they usually need headlines. Fine, you need headlines, but time and place, folks, time and place. And as Duran said, out of line, definitely out of line. And Shericka Jackson, we know that they have to do these interviews. We know it's a part of the contracts that they sign and all of that. You know, where some reporters are low level mode on a mic. Here she's trying to say, yeah, to kick off controversy. True. Why would you ask that? Why would you ask that? And not even why would you ask that? Why would you ask that? No, on this occasion where Shericka Jackson, having gone through so much, having experienced so much in her 27 years, her experiencing this level of ecstasy, no, right? Experiencing this level of ecstasy, soaking in everything, basking in the glory of her work, of her accomplishment, and you're asking this question right now, right? You think this is the right time to ask this question because they want to play the narrative for a major headline. And that's it. That's a problem I have. That's a problem that I have, because when it comes down to, no one cares about ethics and that sort of thing anymore. Folks are only concerned about getting headlines. Folks are only concerned. And mind you, you know, folks, if you operate in a YouTube channel, you can put whatever the headline is. You can do whatever. This is a YouTube channel, so certain ethics, certain guidelines, they don't apply to you as a YouTuber. it's on you to look into yourself and the principles that you have, whether it's ethics related or whatever, and apply those to your channel, right? So you'll find some YouTubers, they'll say anything, they'll spark up rumors, they'll do anything in that regard, and then you'll have others who will actually present information and then provide commentary based on the information that they receive, right? Probably those YouTubers, they won't get enough likes, or they won't get enough shares, or they won't get enough views. But when you're representing a media entity, there are certain guidelines that you're supposed to go by, right? And that, at least that was my perception of media back in the day when I was studying, right? When you're representing an entity, there are certain ethics, certain guidelines that you have to abide by, right? And I won't go into the free press and all of that. I think that's for another day. But back to the topic, I think this journalist, and as I mentioned, I don't even have his name. That's how insignificant he is. But the questions he asked, time and place, it was extremely rude and extremely out of order. Valerie Lewis, he wanted to mix her up, and that's the same thing. That's the same thing. The person who sent me the video said, Shericka Jackson essentially saying, "Don't mix me up." And I looked at it and I don't know. I had a moment where I had to take a step back, because I think Shericka Jackson, in the eyes of some, there was no right answer to that question, right? There was no right answer to that question, and yet, because you'll hear halftime's view, no, because I think she conducted herself well, but then it is an opinion, right? It is an opinion, and then you'll have someone else who will say, okay, if she didn't conduct herself well, or she should have deflected, or whatever, right? So again, I don't know. I want to hear what you, the viewers and subscribers, have to say, though. I want to hear what you guys have to say on this matter, because I think Shericka Jackson, proper professional, proper professional, and she handled herself remarkably well in that interview. And that journalist, for the rest of the World Championship, should be given time out. He should be placed on the bench. As some of my friends would say, he was definitely out of order. And sometimes you wonder why folks don't want to give interviews, and you wonder why folks stay away from the media, and you wonder why journalists are viewed as demons. Yeah, it's stuff like these, because someone needs to ask the questions, Someone needs to ask the questions, and nothing is wrong with asking the questions. But, and this is a big but, you need to evaluate, because on what premise was that question formed? On what premise was that question based? There haven't been any, was there any loud noise surrounding the 200-meter world record? I don't think so. I think the 100-meter record, and I'll mention it again, on Google, it still has wind next to it. So based on that premise, then you could probably ask, okay, what are your thoughts on the 100-meter record? What have you, blah, 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 right? The 200-meter record, no, you are questioning the validity of the record. Shericka Jackson, she explicitly stated that, okay, isn't it the world record? Isn't it the world record? Why are you asking me that question? I think you're extremely rude to ask that question, and that is not me. That is not me. She walked away. Proper answer. Proper answer. Embarrassing question, really, and it shows they have begrudgingly theorized with the claim since Jamaica's breakout in sprinting domination in both men and women, and it isn't level since Beijing Olympic. Or was it rich little poor boy? All right, so again, you say something because it is probably the popular opinion in your circle, but that doesn't necessarily mean that opinion has any premise, has any base in facts, right? So on what premise are you? The reason he asks is because she's the only one that have come really close to the record. She answered it correctly, but probably could have showed less anger in her response. See, so Douglas and exactly. So Douglas Anderson is saying she should have showed less anger in her response. So, and I said it before. I said it before. There will be some folks like Douglas Anderson, and no problem with your comment, Douglas, who will think, okay, she probably should have handled it differently, or she should have. You get what I'm saying? So you can't be right. You can't be right, and you can't be wrong. You can't be right. You can't be wrong because it's opinionated, right? But when you're asking time and place, folks. This is all about time and place. Not saying anything is can you play the interview on your channel? Wayne Reed, on based on copyright, I can't. What I'll do, I'll share a link to the interview in this video, in the description for the video, sorry, and then you can check it out. All right. So question 100 and 200, FloJo detractors point to the fact that she retired just as compulsory random drug testing was introduced. Yes, shot. So fine, right? They believe. So you believe in something, but is that based in facts? Is that based in facts? These are all speculations. And you don't ask someone, because this is an athlete. You ask someone who's doing research or whatnot. This is an athlete. Based on her opinion, then the wider masses, the world is going to form an opinion of her. Because now if she says, okay, I think the world record is not valid, people are going to say, okay, it's because you weren't able to break the world record. You get what I'm saying? So why would you ask her that? Based on what premise would she even know? Would she even be able to answer? Right? So God, let's run ask question. The video is on YouTube, up on YouTube. Yes, it is. It's on YouTube, folks. It's on YouTube. You can check it out. With the right way the reporter was trying to fish for some controversy. Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that, folks. When some question was not disrespectful to Shericka, but the integrity of the sports itself, he's questioning the integrity of the world record. True. And remember that this world record has been around for quite some time. For quite some time. When Michael Johnson had his record for however long, it was Usain Bolt came, Usain Bolt went lower, Usain Bolt went lower again, right? There weren't any questions surrounding that. There weren't. Folks were sensible enough to realize that, okay, this is a talented individual and these things just take time, right? These things just take time. But I understand why some do. Whatever you be, if you doubt in FloJo, fine. If you doubt in FloJo, fine, right? But you don't ask an athlete. This is not a question for an athlete, all right? Because you're asking them about a coworker or a fellow coworker or somebody, a fellow professional then, right? You're asking them about a fellow professional. You don't ask an athlete. For one, you don't ask an athlete that question, right? For two, you don't ask an athlete who has just won her first gold medal at the World Championship. Monumental occasion. You have the platform to ask her anything in the world. How are you feeling? Finally, you've accomplished lifelong goal. Be upgraded from being third place all the time, second fiddle, and now you're finally at the top. What's this moment like? Can you put in words how you're feeling? So stuff like that. That's how you ask it. And when you ask questions like those, it builds on the occasion. It builds on the occasion. Folks leave feeling satisfied. You leave with a nice taste in your mouth, for lack of a better term. But no, folks who actually stuck around to watch that post-race interview, it's kind of bittersweet because she was so happy. She was so excited. And then when you get the opportunity to ask her a question, then you dampen her spirit, right? You dampen her spirit because it's an entire mood change. You have her in a totally different, you have her in a totally different sphere, right? Her mind automatically comes off the fact that she just won, and now she's thinking, how could someone be so blatantly rude and disrespectful, right? And as I said, folks, I'm not gonna stay very long on this. I'm not gonna stay very long. I just wanted to get this off my chest, and I know a number of my viewers and my subscribers, they will be sharing their thoughts in the comment section as well. But I want to hear what you guys think about it. If you haven't done so as yet, go ahead and check out the video. Take a look at the video and tell me, am I being too harsh? Am I approaching this from the wrong angle? I don't know. I don't know. But as I said, having done media in school, there were certain things that were stressed. And probably this is Caribbean Media, Caribbean Institute of Media and Communication. Big up on yourself. But probably these are the principles that they taught us that probably that's not the case in the wider world. But ethics, folks, ethics. Let's ensure that our reporting, and this is primarily addressed to the media entities, because if you are looking at a YouTube channel and guiding your questions off a YouTube channel, then you're probably looking for inspiration in the wrong place. All right, probably you're looking for inspiration in the wrong place, because YouTubers, this is free press, right? But one would think media houses and journalists who come out of these media houses, they would be guided by certain levels of ethics. I saw none last evening. I saw someone searching, fishing for a headline at whatever cost, even if it means spoiling a monumental occasion for one of the greatest sprinters, female athletes, really. I won't even say sprinters, one of the greatest athletes that we've seen in quite some time. All right. Again, I could be just clutching at straws. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Okay, so again, thanks for tuning in, folks. We'll probably have a live later on this evening, depending on how we're feeling. But we appreciate the love and the support. Take care of yourself. Enjoy what's left of your day. All right, bye-bye.